First off, I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone. It is now officially 2017, and however you decided to celebrate the new year coming in, I hope you had a good one. One of the next projects that you'll see coming up on my main channel in the next couple of weeks is going to be a box for this telescope. So this is going to get transported up to Townsville, and obviously being a telescope is quite a delicate instrument. It's got mirrors and glass inside, so that needs to be looked after. So the idea is that I need to make some kind of box that can hold this tube in place so that if it does get knocked around, it can absorb the impact and basically just keep it safe while it's getting transported. So there's some big news for the channel coming up, and I'm only going to be announcing it next week on my main channel. But I thought, considering you guys are the more, I want to say, dedicated supporters of the channel, I kind of feel like it's a gesture to let you know first. The whole UCAN brand is about to become defunct. I'm basically giving up on that entirely, and I'll go into more detail, as I say, on my main channel and explain the reason. But the gist of it is that the target audience that I had back when I started the channel is no longer relevant because I've progressed. So it feels like a good thing, you know, new year, new channel, new idea, new direction. It just feels like it's a move for the positive. But yeah, so it'll probably be a week after releasing this video, you'll see a few logo changes. And basically I just want the channel to have a slightly different feel. It's going to be a little bit more slick, it's going to be a little more higher production value. That's the goal here. So just sort of step everything up, you know, to the next level. There's two goals at the moment with what I'm doing in terms of tidying up. First one is that for the move, obviously everything has to be put into a box and onto the truck. So I'm trying to get as much of the stuff as I can into these sort of plastic tubs. But the other important thing is that I suspect that it's going to be next weekend, or if not, then definitely the weekend after that, we'll be having the open house. So even if this place isn't completely empty, I still want any prospective buyers to be able to see the place and be able to see the space that's available. So it's just about minimizing that clutter just enough so that it looks a little bit more tidy. For the meantime, we've got all the junk sitting in these buckets. So as soon as the bins go out on Tuesday and come back empty, I can just turf these into the rubbish bin. The problem is though, is that as soon as we get the bin back, it's going to be full again. So it's just like we're constantly behind. We never have an empty bin of space for new junk to go into. One thing that never ceases to amaze me is the way you can get a giant space, regardless of the size, and you will always manage to fill it with clutter. It was only a couple months ago when this area was basically empty, and I look at it now, and granted it's had all the stuff from inside brought out here, but there just seems to be so much junk everywhere, and it just feels like, it's junk, it's nothing with any purpose. And it's amazing how when, a couple months ago when I got this space, I thought, wow, this is huge, I'm never going to be able to fill this up. And here we are, and I'm actually having to move things around just in order to work in here. I remember when I was younger, I used to do anything to get out of mowing the lawn. Cheat, lie, steal, you name it, anything to convince my father that I didn't have to do it. But it's funny how now that I have my own home and I understand what it means to own a lawn, this is one of the highlights of my weekend is mowing my lawn, sitting back and looking at it and really appreciating how good you can get your yard to look. So there's just a little more tidying to do, and then I reckon we're going to be good for the open house. As soon as I've got through that open house, then I'm going to be able to start working on the next project, as I say, for the telescope. And I'm looking really forward to that. It just feels like the last couple of weeks all I've been doing is tidying up and not actually making any sawdust. So I'm looking really forward to actually getting stuck into another project.